Okay. Hello everyone, I am Sideshow Stereo. All my originals can be found on the Spotify and Apple Music and all that streaming service. I'm gonna play 4 originals. This first one's called Sunshine. Start to plan. Can't tell when one starts to run. I tell myself it'll be alright. I just wish I could bring some certainty to the light. It can't be easy to forget where you're from. Just never forget this feeling when you're alone. Summer has come and gone in the blink of our eyes. Don't forget we'll always have each other's side. Be my sunshine, baby. Be my sunshine, baby. Be my sunshine, baby. Be my sunshine, baby. Time starts to stall. Can't help but think about our late night calls. All the while looking at the stars, dreaming about where we could be and where we are. It can't be easy to forget where you're from. Just never forget this feeling when you're alone. Summer has come and gone in the blink of our eyes. Don't forget we'll always have each other's light. Be my sunshine, baby. Be my sunshine, baby. Be my sunshine, baby. Be my sunshine, baby. Just never forget this feeling when you're alone. Summer has come and gone in the blink of our eyes. Don't forget we'll always have each other's side. Be my sunshine, baby. my sunshine, baby. Be my sunshine, baby. Be my sunshine, baby. Thank you. So the first song I wrote was called Sunshine, or the first song I played was called Sunshine. That was from the very first EP that I put out in January 2022. Funny fact about that EP, I recorded it when I had COVID and I had nothing else to do, and I literally had nothing else to do, so I created it out of pure boredom. And the song came about, the song is basically a song I wrote about my friends. They're very inspiring. I have the best supporting system ever, my friends and family. They come to virtually all my shows, and they make my shows as fun as they are, because they bring the energy, they bring, they bring a lot of happiness and joy, and whenever I see them like walking in a room, wherever I'm playing, I always have like a giant, stupid smile on my face. And I wrote a lot of the verse for Sunshine when I had COVID, and my best friend Ish called me, just wanted to check in on me. We had a long talk. We talked a lot about, well, I played him like Sunshine, because all I had so far was like, be my sunshine, baby, over and over again. And our conversation basically shaped the verse of that song, where we talked about how we've met, how far life has taken us, and how uncertain the future is, because he's going to grad school, and I was at the time still looking for a job. Yeah, Sunshine's a shout out to my friends and family. All right, this is the first ballad I ever wrote. It's called Sweet Sensations. She wants to feel what she can't convey, the empty words that fall along the way. I'm always left to wait until she blurs the sweet sensations away. For the second time, she is my friend. Sad to fall apart again. The darkness and the rain come through before the storm, just like back then. When the curtains cover all I hear are words of war. I'm always left to wait till she blows the sweet sensations away. Oh no, I'm just a castaway, heading to a place where I can dream. I'm homesick the first day, it's just the sound of her voice calling out to me. When the curtains cover all I hear are words of war. I'm always left to wait till she blows the sweet sensations away. ever wrong. All I hear are words of war. I'm always left to wait till she blows the sweet sensations away. I'm always left to wait till she blows the sweet sensations away. Thank you.
The second song I played was called Sweet Sensations, and as I mentioned earlier, that was the first ballad I ever wrote, and honestly that was the first non-pop punk song I wrote. So that was like, I wrote that my first year of college, and everything I've written prior was very much honestly me trying to sound like Green Day, which is like my favorite band growing up, and I would still say they're still my favorite band, just in terms of like the impact they left on me. Billie Joe Armstrong is definitely my favorite songwriter, but this was like the first song where I just wrote without trying to sound like anyone or like trying to use like a template, and it just kind of came flowing easier than I thought it would. So that was the song that made me transition a bit more towards an acoustic, slower, kind of indie-er sound. My name is Joshua Dela Rama, and I play music under Sideshow Stereo. So the name Sideshow Stereo came about, I wish I can remember a little better, but I came up with it around 2018. My name prior to it was Tie-Dye Mannequins on SoundCloud, which doesn't roll off the tongue at all, so I had to replace that immediately. My middle school name was Driftwood, named after the milk carton that we would get from school, but I added a hyphen so it wouldn't get copyrighted. And I went with Sideshow Stereo because I just kind of like the image, or I guess like the visual of like in a carnival there's just a booth of a random stereo playing, just like indie rock, and that's the whole exhibit. Just no one managing it, just a stereo playing crappy indie rock. I've been playing guitar since I was 10, so that was 2007-ish. My dad taught me. My dad was also in a band when we were in the Philippines, and he had a garage band with his friends. He was also the lead singer and guitarist. And he was also like the main songwriter. So I thought it was really cool that he kind of like passed that on to me. And I didn't get into singing until middle school, which was around the time I started getting into Blink-182, Green Day, Nirvana, and all of their guitarists were also the lead singers. So it was a very easy transition for me. And then around 8th grade was when I started writing songs as well, and I've been playing ever since. Pop punk is very, very much influential in my life. If I had to pick like one genre that influenced me or like made the biggest impact, it's pop punk. I started playing guitar. When I started playing guitar, I was very much a heavy metal kid. Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue were my favorites. And then I switched over to pop punk. And I would say like my favorite pop punk artists are still my favorite songwriters, but I don't think my current sound sounds a whole lot of pop punk. I incorporated a bit more like indie rock or indie pop / bedroom pop since like late high school or early college. I think my sound now is a bit more comparable to that of like Daniel Caesar. John Mayer's another one of my favorite artists. Claro as well. But I still think the pop punk influence can still be heard just a little bit, whether it be in like my songwriting or the way I play guitar. I've been doing open mics basically right out of high school. So that was 2014. just doing open mics all around the Long Beach and Orange County region. And I didn't get to start doing paid gigs until last year. So that was like a really, honestly, yeah, last year was honestly like really cool for music. I got to prove to myself that I can make some kind of money doing something that I don't hate, and honestly it's something I'm very passionate about. So a lot of my shows are usually in like restaurants or breweries or bars. And I generally play about 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 4, and it's like a mix of like covers and like originals as well. And honestly, it's been a lot of fun. The bartenders are usually chill, the audiences are really chill. I don't really have like a lot of bad experiences. Honestly, for the most part, people just enjoy that there is like live music. But the best part, or I guess like the best feeling though, is like when you're playing something, then you look out into the audience and then someone makes like a stank face. That's like the biggest compliment you can give a musician, you know? Is there anyone I want to play with or go on tour with? Honestly, like John Mayer's the first person that comes to mind. He recently started his new tour, and even though he usually plays with a band, he chose to just play live like by himself. Like he wants to do like an all acoustic set because he said he misses like how it feels to just play by yourself, like how it felt like very much so in the beginning. And he just wanted to just do like a raw, vulnerable set, and it's just like a fully acoustic set, and I think that'd be cool to open up for him. I think Daniel Caesar as well would be cool. I think he and I mesh a lot. Like in terms of sound. As I mentioned, Claro would be cool. Honestly, Green Day. To go on tour with Green Day would be sick. Honestly, like my childhood heroes. I have like 2 posters of them in my room. What's next for Sideshow Stereo? I have that new single Spaceship coming out, which is in April 12th. And I have a gig at Pacific Plate Brewery in Monrovia on April 8th, Saturday. And I'm really looking forward to that because, as I mentioned, I've been performing live for a while now, but it's mainly been solo stuff. April 8th is going to be my first jam with a band, pretty much since high school. So I'm really looking forward to that, to see if we can actually like mesh well. And if we do, then we can continue like with this lineup. Thank you.